by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Coming, sweetie. Shh. Mommy's here, Noah. Neil? That you?
Did you see anything when you opened the door? Anybody on the street? Calm.
No, nothing at all. At first I thought it was some kind of prank, but then I looked down and saw Neil.
Okay. That's all the questions for now.
Und damit,
Some prank.
Yeah, well, sounds like he was a real cut-up.
hallo und herzlich willkommen YouTube bei eurem Sgt.LeDubio und zu Let's Play Law & Order Legacies. Unser zweiter Fall. Also seid gespannt, bleibt dran. Und los geht's.
What's that, goulash? Get it out of here, Ray, for God's sake.
What's the matter? Doesn't smell too bad to me.
No, it smells too good. Julia's got me on a health food diet. She's got this crazy idea high blood pressure is a bad thing.
Sounds like a real nut. I give it 3 weeks.
The diet or Julia?
Both.
Rogers just dropped off the report on Neil Jensen. Exsanguination.
Poor guy bled to death.
Well, that would explain all the red stuff.
Lieutenant Van Buren kann Ihnen wichtige Informationen über den Fall geben. Sprechen Sie sie auf die Wunden des Opfers an, indem Sie das entsprechende Thema auswählen. Wunden des Opfers.
What we talking about?
Over a dozen, but most of them are superficial. Victim bled out from a deep laceration to the femoral artery.
Oberschenkel. Inwiefern? Van Buren zufolge war die Todesursache Extermination, also Tod durch Sterben. Hä? Van Buren zufolge ist die Todesursache immer noch ein Rätsel. Van Buren zufolge war die Todesursache Exsanguination, also tödlicher Verlust von Blut. Van Buren zufolge war die Todesursache Exsanguination, also tödlicher Verlust von Sauerstoff. Von Blut? Ja. Also verblutet. Lieutenant Van Buren kann Ihnen wichtige Informationen über den Mord an Neil Jensen geben. Sprechen Sie sie auf eine dieser neuen Themen an. Todeszeitpunkt und Waffe.
Time of death?
4:17 a.m. Apparently the guy was still alive when his wife found him, but just barely. Blood trail leads down to the curb, then disappears.
Well, at least he got to die at home. When did he get wounded?
Around 2.
Slow bleeder.
We've all got problems.
Okay, 2 Uhr verwundet. Tot. Nein. Der Bericht deutet einen möglichen vampirischen Hintergrund an. Der Bericht besagt, dass eine Stunde dauerte, bis er verblutete. 2 Stunden.
What do
Waffe.
we know about the weapon? Switchblade, maybe?
Right length, but Rogers says it was curved, like a scythe.
The victim was done in by a midget Grim Reaper.
Anything we can use to ID the perp?
No fingerprints, but it appears some of the blood on Jensen's clothes wasn't his own.
Our victim got in a few good jabs before he went down, huh? What does the lab have to say?
Results aren't back yet. Any minute now. Van Buren. Uh-huh. Really? How do they... Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Elliptical and nucleated. Got it. Well, let us know if you find out anything else. That was the lab.
Elliptical and nucleated?
The red blood cells? Turns out it's not human. It's bird blood.
What kind of bird?
A dead one, I'm guessing.
The victim was stabbed with a pelican.
Okay. Also wir halten kurz fest. Es verblutet innerhalb von 2 Stunden. 2 Uhr angegriffen, 4:17 Uhr verstorben. Er hat eine Oberschenkelfraktur erlitten und an der ist er auch erlegen. Es war nicht nur sein eigenes Blut an seinem Körper, sondern auch Vogelblut, ellipsenartig und kernförmig irgendwas. Schnabel nehme ich an. Und da geht's auch weiter.
Hold off a minute, Lenny. I got something here.
What?
The Jensen's nanny. She's waiting to catch a bus, but I don't see it coming yet.
Then let's not waste any time.
Mind if we ask you a few questions? Where were you Wednesday morning at 2 a.m.?
In bed. Where else?
Here?
I only work days. I live in Bedford-Stuy. Check with my parents if you don't believe me.
Ja. Das Kindermädchen hat ausgesagt, dass sie bei ihren Eltern lebt. Bevor sie ihr Alibi anzweifeln, sollten sie eher ihre Eltern anrufen.
How did Mr. and Mrs. Jensen get along? Did they fight?
All married couples fight sometimes, I guess. I don't plan to get married myself.
I used to say that too.
Yeah, I said it a bunch. It never did me any good.
But not everybody fights in front of the nanny.
Würde ich sagen, ja. Die sagte nämlich, jeder streitet mal. Also es ist auch keine Verneinung.
What did Mr. and Mrs. Jensen fight about when they fought?
The usual. Money. I guess he was better at spending it than making it, and new babies cost a lot. He was pretty pissed when she cut off his allowance.
Allowance? How old was he, 12?
Hey, don't tell her I told you that. I'm on thin ice as it is.
Er war richtig stinkig, als sie ihm das Taschengeld gestrichen hat. Krass. Okay. Er bekam also von seiner Frau Taschengeld. Was wird nicht von der Aussage des Kindermädchens bekräftigt? Zwischen ihr und Mrs. Johnson gab es Spannung. Zwischen Mr. und Mrs. Johnson gab es... Was wird nicht von der Aussage? Hä? Habe ich jetzt die Frage falsch verstanden?
Did
Okay.
you know Neil Jensen very well?
You mean, were we lovers?
That wasn't where I was going.
But since you brought the subject up,
No, he was my employer, that's all. I liked him, though. We had a lot of good talks. He was interested in stuff, you know? Ideas? He was really interested when he found out I was a Wiccan. He liked to ask questions.
Warum können Sie sie noch nicht ausschließen? Sie hatte noch keine Zeit, ihr Alibi zu prüfen. Also sie hatten noch keine Zeit. Kindermädchen lügen eigentlich immer, ist Quatsch. Briscoe hat gesagt, dass auf der Leiche die Fingerabdrücke einer jungen Frau gefunden wurden. Curtis glaubt ihr. Wir haben es ja gar nicht überprüfen können. Neue Themen.
Here's my bus. Gotta run.
We got all we need out of her. Come on, let's talk to the widow.
Ah, okay.
I'm sorry I wasn't much help to you last night.
We quite understand, Mrs. Jensen. You've been through a terrible shock.
Please call me Ellie. And I apologize again in advance. I'm going to have to cut this short when Noah wakes up at 3:55.
You've got him on a schedule?
It's the other way around. Wait and see. You could set your watch by him.
Was your husband missing anything when you found him? Any valuable personal items?
His wallet?
Was on him. $8 and a MasterCard.
His Rolex.
No Rolex on the body.
I gave it to him on our 10-year anniversary. It's engraved. He always wore it.
Your nanny.
Ada Marie Velasquez.
This may be an indelicate question, but your husband never...
Neil liked to flirt, but he wasn't a cheater.
You're sure?
I know what goes on in my house. I'm sure of that. And I installed a nanny cam to make extra sure.
Kamera im Kinderzimmer. Alles klar.
We heard something about you cutting off your husband's allowance.
No. Who told you that? Ada Marie?
We're not at liberty to divulge.
She's alluding to the fact that I took Neil's name off the savings account last week. I didn't enjoy doing it, but
Yes?
when Neil was in research mode, he spent money. Well, recklessly. He'd get so caught up in his work, prudence would go out the window. I used to put up with it, but new babies are expensive.
Anything you can tell me about your husband's background?
He had a poker problem in college when I first knew him. Junior year, I had to cover his student fees because he'd gambled away the money his parents gave him. Of course, that was 15 years ago, but I worried maybe he was falling back into old habits.
Also eventuell Spielschulden.
Any idea what Mr. Jensen wasted your money on?
God knows. Like I said, he was very closed-mouthed about his research expeditions.
Oh,
What's that noise?
Our chickens, Penny, Penny, and Maxine. You've never seen chickens in New York?
Well, sure, but they usually come with biscuits and a side of mashed potatoes.
You're behind the times, officers. Urban farming is the wave of the future. Fosters a connection to the earth. Plus, once you've tasted homegrown eggs, those watery factory-produced things just make you gag.
schade.
One of the things we're trying to make sense of here, Ellie, is we found avian blood on your husband's clothes.
Avian?
Bird blood.
I know what the word means. It's just very odd.
That's what we thought.
Maybe your husband slaughtered a chicken for dinner last night?
I don't think so. He doesn't take much of an interest in them, to be honest. They're more my thing. He only helps out when it's something I can't bring myself to do.
Your husband was a writer.
Oh, maybe I've read some of his work.
I doubt it. I didn't mean that the way it sounds. You don't by any chance subscribe to the Metamodernist Quarterly.
So your husband wasn't about to become the next John Grisham.
Wasn't that difficult for you? I mean, him not bringing in a regular income?
We got by. I believed in my husband's work, Detective, and thankfully my income was sufficient to support both of us comfortably. I'm principal at PS 84.
Do you know where your husband went last night?
I have no idea. He left the house around 9, said he'd be back late, and I shouldn't worry.
But you did.
Of course, but no more than usual. This was par for the course for Neil. When he's working on a new story, he'll go off on research expeditions. Often at strange hours, sometimes for days at a time, and he never talks about it till he has a rough draft on paper. Doesn't want anyone to influence his thought process.
Sehr mysteriös.
About those chickens of yours, what do you mean when you say Neil would do the things you couldn't bring yourself to do?
Well, Raccoon's got one once, and he cleaned up the mess, but that was ages ago. And I made him get rid of Roger last July.
Roger?
A cockerel. He started out as Rebecca. See, keeping hens is perfectly legal in New York City, but it's against the law to keep a rooster.
Makes sense to me.
We raised our brood from chicks. And of course all chicks look alike. They're sexed before they're sold, but the process isn't foolproof. We bought 4 hens.
And one of them turned out to be a rooster.
Right. By the time we found out she was a he, I had grown fond of him. I didn't have the heart to get rid of him myself, so I made Neil do it. But like I said, that was practically a year ago.
Do you know what he did with it?
He took it back to the farm we got it from, in New Jersey. Cora's Cluckers. I can give you their number. They know us there. There goes the alarm.
3:55.
What'd I tell you? Right on schedule.
Okay. Wir hätten da weiter picken können wie die Hühner, aber...
Diary?
It's not a diary. It's a journal.
What kind of journal?
None of your business. Did you call Cora's Cluckers?
Yeah, she remembers Neil Jensen. Said he never brought her any roosters.
She's sure?
Sounds sure. Matter of fact, she was away at the state fair on the day Jensen supposedly brought the bird in.
So he lied to the little woman, huh? Our victim had a questionable character.
Imagine you're a husband, and not the most responsible husband in the world.
That's quite an imaginative leap.
Your wife gives you a live rooster and tells you to take it by public transportation all the way to New Jersey to get rid of it. What do?
You sure as hell don't take it all the way to Jersey. I dump it in the closest spot I can find and go catch a ball game.
Right, and there's only so many places you can take a live chicken if you're too squeamish to kill it. Huang's Live Poultry, 152 and Barry, just 6 blocks from the Jensen house.
Yeah, let's check them out. Farm animals in the middle of Brooklyn. I've lived in this city my whole life and it never ceases to surprise me.
Oh, we serve everyone here. We've got kosher slaughter for our Jewish clients, halal for the Muslims.
And if I'm in the mood for pork chops,
For that, we've got a Dominican butcher.
he covers all bases.
Mind if we ask you a few questions?
Okay, but be quick. The dinner rush is gonna start any minute.
Und da machen wir auch einen kurzen Cut. Ich würde sagen, wir sehen uns auch dann gleich wieder. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, lasst gerne einen Daumen nach oben da. Wenn ihr Vermutungen habt, in welche Richtung es gehen könnte, schreibt es auch gerne unten in die Kommentare. Ich bin erstmal raus. Macht's gut, euer Sgt.LeDubio.